Part 23. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 225. I don't want to appear in such a beautiful scenery, but Ziwei, the blue wolf is coming, the Zero voice echoed in the mind of Ziwei. The green wolf is a rising star among the pirates trained by Sea Wolf King Cook. He is a high-ranking warrior who has entered the paradigm at the age of 19. 11 Wei once captured the blue wolf, and Zero has set up a nano-level machine in his body to control his every move. However, since Ziwei has nurtured the true spirit of pure water in the heart of the lake, and after falling into dormancy due to evolution, the blue wolf gained a short period of freedom. While secretly cursing the elf wizard, he was not allowed to die. He also seized the time to carry out the reception of the evil spirits on the sea. Captain Cook died because of the Pirate King of Sicily. He never returned to the deep sea plane. Although sad, the blue wolf is more excited after knowing this news. The death of the Sea Wolf King Cook is the time to go to the top. Not only does he control nearly half of the fleet of hungry wolves on the sea, but also a high-ranking warrior, the successor of the Sea Wolf King Cook who was born to focus on training. The blue wolf has enough confidence to truly master the whole sea-hungry wolf and become a new generation of pirate king. However, the complexity of the matter far exceeds the imagination of the blue wolf. The Earl of Sorrows, the territory of Catania in the easternmost part of Sicily, is eyeing the natural harbor of White Shark and the chaotic city under the rule of the sea-hungry wolf. Limo. More importantly, M.R.S. Cook's widow, who is in charge of the underground order of the city of Palermo, seems to be not optimistic and supportive of his superiority. Although I got the support of my men in the first place, I took control of the 8 pirate ships and the White Shark port, including the flagship Wild Heart of the Sea Wolf King Cook, but there was also a Black Wolf who took the opportunity to launch. The captain of the remaining 10 pirate ships, and he is fighting for the control of the entire sea-hungry wolf. This can mean huge power and benefits. However, without back-office support, he gradually fell into the wind in the competition, and the situation in Palermo became confusing. He saw that the crown of the Pirate King had completely missed him. At this desperate moment, the Blue Wolf finally remembered the reinforcements he could find, and that was the mysterious and powerful wizard. At this moment, the Wild Heart has stopped far in the waters outside the port of Violet Island. This huge warship was first discovered by the town's mayor, Ryan, and he has already sounded the alarm. Ching Wolf? Are you sure you are not manipulating him? Ziwei asked curiously. It's very busy recently, I don't have time to manage him. But he obviously has a big trouble and has to slap his head to ask for help. Zero smiled and said, this is a good experimental material delivered to the door. Hello dear master, the Blue Wolf came down from the Wild Heart on a small boat and came to the dock. I thought you would never return to this sad place, Ziwei joked. I am sorry, I am in a dilemma, I am asking for help. The Green Wolf's attitude is very good, and his posture is also very low. The reception room in the Violet Fortress once again played a role. Uncomfortable sitting on a comfortable soft leather sofa, the Blue Wolf's eyes kept on patrolling the entire Violet Fort, and it was obvious that he was shocked by this magnificent castle. I didn't expect that it was a desolate island when it came 3 months ago. Now it has become a beautiful territory. When landing on the battle 3 months ago, there was almost no tower or a village on the whole island. Any building? Speak your request, the Green Wolf. My time is very valuable. Ziwei was too lazy to waste time with each other and went straight to the subject. You know, I have always been Captain Cook as a successor, but I didn't expect him to die suddenly, and my superior position became very difficult. The Green Wolf quickly told his current situation. Come out. And then, Ziwei is undecided. I think, you have been buying some age-appropriate children as an apprentice from Little Wilf Ford. You must want to cultivate a magician yourself. If you can help me become the real ruler of the sea-hungry wolf and Palermo, I will give you the best apprenticeship. King Guo finally put forward his own conditions. This is really a joke. The Blue Wolf, the city of Palermo, is a famous chaotic city on the entire Golden Sea. It is a standard city of gold, a city of chaos and a city of killing. Once it becomes the ruler of Palermo, it will be what a power. Even the Sea Wolf King Cook has only mastered half of the city of Palermo. What you ask for is so great, but the pay is very small. Do you regard my master as a fool? The guest maid Charlotte glared at him. Charlotte, who had been interrupted by the best emotional exchange time, was on fire. After hearing the shameless request of the Blue Wolf, the anger erupted like a volcano. The Green Wolf was very embarrassed, and there was a drop of sweat on his forehead. I don't know what to say. Zai Wei finally spoke up, slowly saying, "The Green Wolf, in fact, you are not living as an independent and free person." The Blue Wolf's face was blue, and immediately thought of the tragic experience in the underground secret room of the tower. The nightmare is once again staged. Under the control of Zero, he will roll on the carpet for a while, and then will smash in the room, and finally it will perfectly simulate the strange expression that will appear in all kinds of magical expression packs. Charlotte was teased and swayed, and the anger dissipated. This process lasted for 5 minutes and finally ended. The whole wolf fell to the ground. The original wizard was not deceiving him. The nightmare did not end. So yours is mine is mine. Zai Wei tilted his legs, picked up a cigar, ignited the flame, and sighed softly. The cigar is not filled with tobacco, but is a magical plant. It is an improved variety of the scented grass planted in the arcane garden, which can increase the concentration of the master's spirit. Everything in his own is completely manipulated by others. The Blue Wolf almost does not know what it means to fight like this. His whole person has lost his fighting spirit, and the bones of his body seem to be soft and can no longer move. But as a mage, I have a lot of research topics, and I have very little free time. Zai Wei suddenly changed his tone. As if there was a light of hope flashing in the eyes of the Blue Wolf, he jumped up and looked at Zai Wei. Pomo is a good place, and Cook's fleet is part of the Golden Sea Maritime Order, which I am very interested in. I will support you to become the ruler of the Balmaz, and you will be a servant of mine. Zai Wei slightly decapitated. I am a very servant master. In general, I will not interfere with your daily life. No one knows the relationship between you and me. You will live very, very dignified. But remember, you are always my servant until you are buried in the coffin and buried in the cemetery. If you can't accept my conditions, then please leave my territory." The whole wolf was stunned. His face was cloudy and his hands were tight, and his nails left a deep mark on his palm. This is a difficult decision, either to control your own life freely, but to swallow the bitter fruit of failure and become a dog of mourning. From then on, only one life can be killed at sea, and the death of the sea is almost the only ending in the future. Or you will become the servant of this powerful and mysterious mage, and become a chained dog. The master will bite whoever bites. But the dog has its own home, but it can also eat meat. When walking outside, it is very powerful. People are scared. Several masters of the ranks competed for the deep sea horn, and the elf mage in front of him not only returned safely from it, but even laughed at the end. This mage definitely has unfathomable strength. The Blue Wolf remembers that the legendary powerful mage is always busy in various experiments and research on magic, and it is almost impossible to manipulate himself all day. Refuse. How dare the Blue Wolf? Perhaps this is just the temptation of the master. Finally I thought about all the joints of the Green Wolf licking a tooth. The whole person slammed down to the ground, the forehead, hands and feet all close to the ground. He is slowly moving forward, going to kiss Zai Wei's shoes. This is the ritual of the most traditional servants of the Orient continent swearing allegiance to the master. Pirates are the most anti-traditional, free-spirited profession. Many fighters are involved in the pirate profession, just to be able to be bound by the ups and downs. However, At this moment, in order to be able to grasp the greater power and become the new pirate king and the master of the chaotic city of Palermo, the Green Wolf smashed down and chose to become the servant of Ziwei. Ziwei's leather shoes are naturally spotless, but the Green Wolf kisses up and feels that the whole person is not good. Well, I hope that you can show your loyalty with action, and I will give you a powerful force. Ziwei turned the topic on the right track. Strong power, the Green Wolf raised a huge unwillingness. If he had a powerful force, he would become a strong man who understood the master's certificate like the Sea Wolf King Cook, and why he should be a servant of others. Come with me, I will give you the power, called the Blood Heritage. Ziwei's voice is not big, but the whole body of the Blue Wolf is shocked. Blood Heritage, is it the inheritance of the Blood Knight? You must know that although the Blood Knight has appeared in the Orient continent for 2000 years, the method of blood transmission is almost the secret of each aristocracy. Even if the civilian strong struggles to the master level, it is almost impossible to obtain this magic. The way. What's more, as time goes by, most families with inheritance have long lost the secret to open the blood. The magical creatures that can be used for blood transmission on the continent of Orient have been almost killed and cleaned up in the past 2000 years. Even the powerful dragons almost completely withdrew from the entire continent of Orient. Mobile version. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 226. Along the winding corridors with exquisite murals and sculptures on both sides, through a heavy metal door that shines with icy light, Ziwei and Kingguo came to the underground chamber of the Violet Fort. This is a laboratory specially built by Ziwei for blood circulation research. Bright magic lights illuminate the basement and illuminate the room. At all, there are all kinds of glassware, syringes, and hoses. The glass containers contain all kinds of blood, tissues, and organs. If they are found by the benevolent and kind-hearted Church of the Glorious Church, the heretical ruling the strong man will immediately sweep the place where the daring glory of the Church of the Lord. Seeing this scene, the Blue Wolf is not afraid, but more excited. The blood heritage of the wizard is likely to be true. The Blue Wolf is like a lost woman who has gone astray. Since the exercise is no longer necessary, what kind of reward is the most important thing? What should I do? Asked the Blue Wolf, his voice was a little trembling. Did you see the bed over there? Take off your clothes and lie down. Ziwei put on a white coat and was disinfecting the surgical equipment with a high-temperature flame. The Blue Wolf lay on the bed with his hands on his feet, and there was a smooth plastic film under his body. Zero draped in a mini white coat, with a white mask, only revealing two purple eyes outside, a look of serious looks very contrasting. Relax, take some blood for spare. Zero took out a large syringe that was almost the same height as himself, and patted the face of the Blue Wolf with the front paw. Can I say no? The Blue Wolf's face wrinkled into a bitter chrysanthemum. As a high-ranking warrior, the young wolf has a strong metabolism in the body, and the blood vessels on the arm are thick and long, just like a strip of cockroaches. Zero easily took a needle of blood from the Green Wolf and placed it in the blood multiplier as a spare blood source. The Green Wolf instantly lost control of the body. Apart from his own thinking, he couldn't even get his eyelids. Ziwei took out a glassware filled with a pale yellow viscous liquid. This is the blood of the treated courier, and it is also the bloodline that Ziwei wants to transform the Green Wolf. The blood of these corals has been diluted a lot, and the density of mitochondria and special energy particles that determine blood characteristics has also dropped to a very low level. Approximately 200 ml of the blood of Kulal was slowly injected into the veins of the Blue Wolf, and Zero has begun to fully detect the changes that are taking place in the wolf. As a magical creature, the blood of Kulal is almost the same as human blood except for the same organic matter, but in the blood vessels of the Green Wolf, the blood of Kulal is happening with the blood of the wolf itself. The battle of desperate fight. The two bloods are completely mixed together with the flow of blood inside the blood vessels, and they fuse and fight in the blood flowing through his body. The breathing of the green wolf began to become rushed, and the muscles of the whole body began to tremble and tremble. Obviously this was a painful torture. Kulil is a 7th-order magical creature. His tyranny far exceeds the mortal pedigree of the blue wolf. Even the blood after dilution of only 200 ml has prevailed in this fight. The blood of Kulil, which has already begun to win, takes the blood of the blue wolf as a nutrient, begins to extract the energy and proliferate. The surface of the skin of the blue wolf began to produce pale yellow spots, and the whole person also changed to the appearance of Kulil. The blood of Kulil has begun to invade the brain of the blue wolf. If this continues, then this blood separation experiment will undoubtedly fail, and the green wolf will become a monster that loses reason. At the crucial moment, Zai Wei shot, his hands flashed bright moonlight and starburst, and the silver moon was fully launched, and the light shrouded the blue wolf's brain. The whole body of the blue wolf instantly became a clear battlefield. His brain kept the original appearance and awake due to the guardianship of Yunyu, but the body below the neck was completely occupied by the blood of Kulil, and the whole body the blood is almost completely transformed into the blood of Kurur, and the form is changing like the appearance of Kulil. Zai Wei is unmoved and only maintains the normal form of the green wolf brain. Until the conversion was completely completed, the activity of the blood of Kulil reached its peak, and the blue wolf completely became a monster of half human and half beast. Injection inhibitors. The blood of Kulil fell into the hands for so long, and Zai Wei and Zero had already made their research clear, Zero injecting a tube of light blue inhibitor into the body of the blue wolf. Just like the blooming ball is punctured by the needle, the belly of the green wolf that had already been raised is finally flattened down. The activity of the blood of Kulil is almost completely frozen by the inhibitor. The original body of the wolf, the blood finally began to look up. Injecting the blood of the blue wolf, in a short period of time, the blood proliferator has transformed a large amount of blood of the blue wolf, and Zero continuous injection of about 1500 ml of the blood of the blue wolf, this stopped. As the blood of the blue wolf flows in the body, the shape of the green wolf is also changing toward the original human form. The pale yellow soft skin on the surface of his body has faded, and the pink skin is born in the blood. Zai Wei waited for about half of the magic time until the blue wolf completely recovered. The second phase begins. This time, 300 ml of the blood of Kulil was injected into the wolf body. Then began a new round of cycles. This cycle lasted for 7 rounds, and the blue wolf also faded a whole 7 soft skins. After a whole night, the blood of Kulil was finally integrated with the blood of the wolf itself, forming a kind of unique blood. By this time, the blood heritage has been halfway through. The next step is to use the heart of Kurur. If the blood inheritance only needs the blood of the magical creature, then a large magical creature can inherit countless aristocrats. But this is obviously impossible. If you want to make the blood stable, you can pass it through the way of reproduction. If you want to awaken the special blood ability, you must completely obtain the essence of the burning heart by sacrificing the heart of the magical creature. This limits a magical creature to only allow one to gain blood heritage. Zai Wei has inscribed the magical array of blood in the basement of the metal floor. This magical array has been inherited for 2000 years and is not so mysterious. The blood of Kurul, who is still pale yellow and still beating, is placed on the magic array, and Zai Wei begins to use magic to activate this magic array. The magical flame burned and swallowed the heart of Kulil. When the blue magical flame burned everything, a pale yellow phantom suddenly appeared above the magic array. It is the appearance of the North Sea town guarding Kulil. This is the heart-burning essence of the sacrifice of his heart. The hand of the philosopher slowly pushed the illusion above the heart of the blue wolf. Zai Wei opened a slit in the chest of the wolf with a sharp scalpel, and the heart that was striking was exposed to the air. Slowly put the heart into the heart of the blue wolf. Zai Wei completely sutured the wound of the blue wolf with a soluble organic thread, and a silver moon flashed, almost completely restored. It's already at the last level. As long as you can smash the excitement of the heart-burning essence, you will get this unique gift and complete the bloodline. However, in the eyes of Ziwei and Zero Expectation, it was not long before the blue wolf closed his eyes and the whole person fainted. Failed, Ziwei asked inexplicably. He is still not dead. Zero senses his physical condition through the nano-machines that remain in the wolf body. Then use cardiopulmonary resuscitation. The oxygen tube was inserted into the nose and mouth of the blue wolf, and Ziwei opened the real magic eye. The line of sight penetrated the skin and muscles of the blue wolf and saw his heart. At this moment, most of the heart of the blue wolf has changed from red to pale yellow. Squeezing the heart of the wolf with the power of thought, this heart that has stopped beating is restored again. After a long time passed, the whole red heart of the blue wolf was completely transformed into a pale yellow, almost exactly the same as the original heart of Kurur. Ah! It hurts. Just after the release of the body control of the blue wolf could not help but screamed loudly. Can you call it? It seems to be fine, Zero said, don't be awkward. Like killing a pig. Hurry up, see how your new body. The green wolf resisted the pain of the whole body. He felt that the whole body seemed to be completely replaced with a new one. It was so unsuitable. In fact, in addition to the brain is indeed completely updated. This, what is this? The blue wolf held up with both hands, but found that there were several layers of yellow skin under the body, which seemed to be disgusting in the blood. This is the skin that you have faded. How? Is it beautiful? You can take it back to collect it? At least the solidity is very high, and the sword is not cut, Zero explained. The green wolf heard a lot of time in his body and patrolled for a long time, and found himself still in human form, which was a relief. He did not know that the inheritance was extremely dangerous, and it was completely experimental. Even if there was a little leak, he would become a monster that lost his mind. The blue wolf walked into the bathroom next to it and took a hot bath, and put it in a loose samurai suit. Let's go. Let's go and test your bloodline ability. The night of the first generation, the inheritance ceremony is completed, the blood in the body is activated, which is considered a kind of welfare. Kurol is a 7th order magical creature. If the blood transformation ceremony is perfect, then the blue wolf can be promoted to the rank of the blood knight. The first batch of aristocrats in 2000 years obviously cannot have a complete human laboratory like Ziwei. They have their own secret blood fusion method, and this method is the secret of each family. However, Ziwei circumvented this barrier with his own unique advantages, and also completed the blood transformation, and the blood of Kulil is perfectly integrated with the blood of the blue wolf itself. Mobile version. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 227. For the Lord Shuang is cool plus the second chapter. Feel your heart, it has been reborn. It contains a powerful energy, this is your ability. To experience it, to understand it, to master it. In the meditation room, which is clean and tidy, covered with bamboo and rattan woven floor mats, the blue wolf sits on the ground with his knees, closes his eyes, and begins to feel the new blood circulation ability. Warriors are warriors, and they are not relying on brute force fighting. They have their own unique method of meditation. The whole wolf was completely quiet, and there was an imposing force on him. The heart is beating vigorously, full of unrivaled power. As long as he is still standing on the ground, the green wolf feels like he has endless power, even if he is exhausted. As long as he can connect with the earth, he can regain his vitality instantly. This is the first special talent awakened by the blood of Kolo, the hug of the earth. The blue wolf slammed open his eyes, opened the window, jumped out of the violet castle, jumped directly to the white sand beach in the distance, and then walked into the sea. He feels that he is completely integrated into the sea, free to breathe in the sea, and that every move is completely unimpeded. This is the second special talent that Kulo's blood is awakened, the son of the ocean. The other three general talents of awakening are, strength triple strength, super earth element magic resistance and water element magic resistance. The green wolf has won 5 blood enhancing talents and has become a 5th order blood knight. Isn't awakening to Kulo's ability to manipulate the energy of the earth and to shake the earth's special ability, Ziwei was somewhat disappointed. It seems that the green wolf is still not strong enough. The 5 blood talents obtained are passive, and the strongest active blood of Kulo talent has not been activated. However, as long as the green wolf is gradually promoted, he still has the opportunity to master the strongest talent of Kulo. However, the awakened talent makes the green wolf overjoyed. Whether it is the hug of the earth or the son of the ocean is a very practical blood talent for a pirate king, and triple strength and super magic resistance led him as a tiger. Overnight, the fighting power of the blue wolf has increased by at least 10 times. And as long as he is born in the future, he will be able to pass on this powerful blood. This has the foundation for creating a fine aristocratic family that has not survived for 1,000 years. And he will become the ancestor of this aristocratic inheritance. His portrait will be hung in the castle and passed through the ages, and each generation will enjoy the grace of this bloodline. The Green Wolf Xie Master's generous gift. This time, the Green Wolf really fell to the front of Ziwei, and slammed his head on the floor, like a hammer hitting the ground. Don't worry, you can't afford to break the floor. Zero jumped to the shoulders of Ziwei. How, Ziwei? Are you going to start the Sicilian strategy? No, not enough. A 5th order blood knight is not enough to be the master of the chaotic city of Balmaz. He can't shake the ambitions. Ziwei shook his head. Sicily is a large island with an area of about 30,000 square kilometers. It is the center of the entire Golden Sea, where the East and West Golden Seas are divided. It has become a battleground for the military. In the history, Alexander the Great occupied this place, the Hillites occupied it, the Sand people of Africa occupied it, and the Normans occupied it. Eventually, with the fall of the old Italian kingdom, Sicily temporarily gained an independent status. It is a mixed paradise, a paradise for pirates, thieves' guilds, and black-hearted chambers of commerce, and Palermo is a famous chaotic city throughout the continent. There are speculators who want to make a fortune. There are all kinds of black-hearted profiteers. There are many underground forces and organizations here. Here you can see women of almost all continents who are engaged in a certain peach-colored occupation. This is a city of gold, where countless people make a fortune, but few people can live to take these wealth away from Palermo. Palermo has never had a true leader. Even the Sea Wolf King Cook has only mastered half of the power of Palermo. However, with the death of Sea Wolf King Cook, Palermo has fallen into a brief chaos. Countless vultures are generally hidden in the shadows, staring at this huge fat, wanting to completely swallow it into their mouths. How far is the nearest distance between Violet and Sicily? Less than 200 nautical miles, the journey takes only 4 days. In order to truly build a super college, the future will lead the entire base, and Violet Island is obviously unable to meet the requirements of Ziwei. And Sicily, with millions of people, chaos, and no suppression by legendary powers, will undoubtedly fall into the vision of Ziwei. Even under the rule of pirates, the chaotic city of Palermo is also a super commercial capital, and countless wealth flows through the city, and the huge population is a huge resource. If you can truly complete the Sicilian strategy and control the largest island in the Golden Sea, then Ziwei has a real foundation. The internal competition of a force is all-encompassing, but when there are foreign crocodiles trying to intervene in Palermo, the leaders of the forces that usually break the head can be united. Therefore, Ziwei does not intend to come out on his own, but instead introduces the Blue Wolf as an agent. At first, it is a delusion to control the whole of Sicily, but the Blue Wolf must stand firm in the chaotic city of Palermo and continue to bring it to himself. Back to information, population, and resources. Then the green wolf must be strong enough to replace Cook's half of Palermo's rule and not to be embarrassed by others. Captain Cook is a strongman of the master class. In any case, Ziwei will not be able to promote the blue wolf from the fifth to the master in a short time. But for the strengthening of power, Ziwei already had a kind of anticipation, but there is no suitable opportunity to practice. This is the best opportunity. There is a famous spell in the 5-ring spell called Magic Constant, which allows a spell below 5 rings to be permanently valid for the subject, such as dark vision, such as underwater breathing, such as the power of a cow. This spell imposes a huge burden on the caster, and for a long time it is so dizzy that it is almost impossible to grow and restore magic through meditation. And the value of the spell-casting material required for this spell is also astronomical for an average person. Only a powerful and wealthy knight or warrior will find a high-level wizard to keep a practical spell for himself, and the cost is too high to be almost unbearable. Each person can only get a magic effect through Magic Constant, and the second time Magic Constant will replace the previous ability. The cost of this spell is so high that it completely exceeds the price of magical things. However, the value of this spell is that it is completely constant on the subject and cannot be deprived and driven away. The effects of magical things are often subject to various kinds of targets, such as the famous 5-ring spell Anti-Magic Rays. A ray goes down, most of the magical objects below the epic level have lost their effect for a period of time. It can be said that the nemesis of magical things. There are also 6-ring dissociation, 8-ring big dissociation, the spells of magical artifacts that have been destroyed by one hit, but also the rich and handsome guys who wear all kinds of magical objects. The smell of color changes. However, Ziwei thinks of the intensive way of the red robe mage in the game, and came up with a unique intensive means, magic tattoo. Engraving the magical pattern on the subject's body and gaining the equivalent of magic constant. Of course, the magic robe of the Red Robe Master is only to strengthen his ability to cast spells, and to obtain a method similar to the super magic skills, but 11-Way wants to do more powerful, and the difficulty is even higher. This idea has been until Ziwei has acquired the real magic eye, and after understanding the mystery of the blood heritage, finally has a chance to achieve. Casting has always required casting materials. The biggest benefit of Ziwei's major elemental magic is that the consumption of magical materials is very small, and even many spells do not require casting materials at all. However, if you want to inscribe magic tattoos on the surface of the human body, the required casting materials are very high. Must be able to fully activate, but cannot be easily destroyed. The energy required to engrave the magical array on the body must obviously be provided by the subject. This is a harsh restriction. And the location of the inscription is also very particular. This is obviously a new and arduous challenge, but it is what Ziwei likes most. However, this matter does not have to be rushed for a while, and there is plenty of time to slowly prepare. The Blue Wolf boarded the Wild Heart and temporarily returned to the White Shark Harbor. With the ultra-fast speed of the Wild Heart, this flight takes less than 2 days. The last month of the sacred calendar of 1796 finally arrived, and the winter vacation of the Violet Academy began on the 5th day of the month. Apprentices from Corsica have returned to their homes with friendship, including Mrs. Winschell. When Ziwei had just returned from the deep sea plane, he had already helped Mrs. Winschell to show the path that the incomplete spiritual magic could develop. Although not necessarily accurate, Mrs. Winschell, who had been stuck in the second ring magician for many years, quickly reshaped the heart of the lake and was promoted to become a mid-level magician. In fact, emotional magic is, strictly speaking, belonging to a branch of spiritual magic, and also belongs to the object of the Church of the Glorious Lord. But this spell is also unique. For example, the barriers to the heart that can be achieved in the second ring mage stage. This spell can even compare the effect of the 6-ring general spell Spirit Barrier. Of course, the exemption is seriously insufficient. Only the foundation of spiritual magic is too difficult, and Ziwei did not promote this practical spell. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 228. On the 8th day of December, Ziwei finally completed the general design idea of magic tattoo, and the most suitable magic tattoo material engraved on people has been selected through thousands of experiments. The whole concept has arrived. When it comes to practice, Ziwei took a boat and left the island of Violet and went straight to the chaotic city of Palermo. When arriving in Palermo, the winter golden sea is cold, and the sky is filled with ice-cold liquids that do not know whether it is rain or snow, making the city of Palermo in the middle of the dawn look like a silent city. Palermo is a city without walls. In general, there are only two kinds of cities. In the hinterland of the kingdom, the security situation is very good, there is a powerful force to guard the order here, or it is chaotic, never in the true sense. The ruler, naturally, will not have a fool to spend a lot of money to build the city wall. The chaotic city of Palermo is clearly the second case. However, the size of the city far exceeds the scale of Ajaccio. Numerous large and small private buildings are extended in 4 directions, and each street they are all twists and turns. The city has never been planned, and all construction is done by private individuals. The map of the city is top secret information, and almost no one can grasp the complete message of every street in Palermo. There is only one gate in Palermo. The only wide avenue extends from here to the White Shark Harbor. Merchants must pass through here if they want to transport bulk cargo. No matter who controls the gate, it is equal to the source of wealth. This city gate once belonged to the Sea Wolf King Cook, and now in the control of Mrs. Marlena. When 11 Wei appeared here, he had a brown denim-style round cap on his head, a brown leather coat and jeans, and a light brown leather boots on his feet. The whole person looked full of mystery. And it is also eye-catching. More eye-catching is a cat walking with him. The cat is wearing the same brown cowboy hat and fur coat and shoes. She is walking on 2 legs instead of 4 legs, and the whole body is straight. When such a weird combination appeared at the gates of Palermo, it almost attracted the attention of people in all corners and shadows. After a moment, a young man rushed out from under the eaves on the street. The clothes on his body were so thin that the whole person was shivering with cold. He had a large freckle on his nose, and he rubbed his hands. With your feet in your eyes, ask, "Sir, are you coming to Palermo for the first time?" Ziwei nodded. The smile on the face of Froen Nose is even brighter. He smiled and said, "In this case, I recommend the Pig and White Crow pub, where you have the signature pork chops and the most powerful white crows. Will be satisfied." "Very good, take me there, man." Ziwei's voice was a little hoarse, and his face was also simply disguised. Now it is a vicissitudes of middle-aged people. The freckles nose grabbed her hat and bowed her head, revealing an invisible mysterious smile. Ziwei followed the freckles in the streets of Palermo. The freckles were obviously familiar with the terrain. He was very fast and never stopped to confirm the direction. Some interesting information was collected in the Zero holographic system. There are other foreign guests who have fallen into the claws of Smiley Face and Fangs. Hey, it's really a poor person. Hey, his fur coat is very good, it must be very warm. Maybe I can buy it and wear it tomorrow. That cat, very interesting. I like it. I don't know how much to buy in Silvertall. Oh, it's really interesting. Ziwei has a brisk pace and a big smile on his face. After shaking for a long time, the freckles were convinced that the middle-aged man could not remember the road he had walked before, and he was taken to the Pig and White Crow pub. This is a 2-story masonry building in the deepest part of the alley. The signboard is hung outside the gate and the dirty pattern is not visible. "Sir, please come in," said the freckle nose with respect. "Some of the cold is unexpected," Ziwei said with emotion. "Oh, this is because of the rainy days. The guests are still sleeping in their own room. At night, the pub will be full of fun, the Freckles and Nose turned and explained quickly. Ziwei did not say anything more and threw 2 copper coins. Freckles and Noses quickly stumbled before the copper coins landed in the hands, the 2 money saved the martial arts on the body. The gate of the pub was very strong, and after the passage of Ziwei and Freckles, the bang was completely closed. The pub was desolate and old, with thick dust on the table, cold ice in the bar, and a faint smell. "Is this?" Ziwei stopped and asked in confusion. The Freckles' nose has appeared on the wooden staircase leading to the second floor of the bar. His face has not had a pleasing smile, but has become awkward and cruel. "Welcome to Mr. Palermo on Earth." Ziwei was unmoved and said faintly, "So, what brand of pork chop and White Crow wine are deceptive?" "Grilled pork chops, of course." "Fresh meat, my favorite," a cruel and horrible voice suddenly sounded behind the west. Ziwei turned and saw a non-human monster with a height of 3 meters and a head that was about to reach the roof. His back has a long steel needle-like mane, his mouth is long and flat like a crocodile, and 2 huge fangs extend out. His 2 strong and powerful arms each hold a huge and sharp cleaver, and his blood is wide open and his mouth is flowing. This really gave me an unexpected surprise. Ziwei opened his coat and took out a beautiful creation from the inside pocket of the coat that had never been seen in the mainland of Orient. This is a classic Colt pistol model, a bright silver metal barrel, a black leather-wrapped handle, and a perfect design with an eye-catching aesthetic. Of course, this is a magic pistol carefully crafted by Ziwei. It cannot be shot out of bullets. It is the spell model of Simplified Fireball that is engraved on the gun body. Simplified Fireball reduces the range's ability to kill, but is more powerful against the target of the muzzle. As long as you are directly hit within the 20-meter range, the theoretical damage of Fireball will burst out perfectly. Inscribed in a confined space of a 3-ring spell, the powerful spell of Fireball is perfectly displayed. Even with the ability of Ziwei, the most precise part is completed after using the real magic eye. Therefore, this kind of magic pistol that can fire Fireball is obviously not energy produced. It is just a luxury toy for Ziwei. This gun has never been seen before, and Ziwei has never used it since it was polished. But the Freckles' nose has smelled a dangerous breath from the calmness of 11 Wei, and he shouted, "Kill him! Butcher! Fresh meat, I like it the most." The wild pig-like butcher waved 2 huge chopping knives and rushed up with a feverish morbid look at Ziwei. The distance between the 2 is less than 5 meters. At this critical juncture, Ziwei calmly pointed the muzzle of the revolver at the butcher and pulled the trigger. Boom! The orange flame suddenly erupted at the muzzle and instantly condensed into a huge fireball, completely engulfing the butcher. The 3,000-degree high-temperature fire instantly swallowed the butcher, and the thick fat layer on his body provided the perfect fuel for the fire. The butcher sent out a horrible mourning, like a scream of killing pigs. However, nearby residents have become accustomed to the tragic sorrows that have sounded from time to time in the Pig and White Crow pub. Someone said with emotion, "Today's guests are really energetic. The screams before dying are so high. Like sighs." Ziwei did not control the ashes who would soon become a group of ashes. He gently blew a smoke from the hot mouth of the gun. The revolver perfectly turned a circle on the right index finger, and then the gun was aligned. The Freckles' nose. Freckles and novices raised their hands high, his legs began to tremble, shouting with a cry, "Don't kill me, I was forced. I was coerced." 11 Wei smiled and said, "So this time, can you recommend the best hotel in Palermo for me?" At the intersection of Coin Avenue and the Boulevard, the 5-story Intoxicated Life Inn, it is the most upscale and luxurious hotel in Palermo. There you can enjoy the king's service. "I can take it, you go, sir, I know the way." The hot gun was pressed against the face. The Freckles and Noses lie a little lie, he quickly asked for help. "Intoxicated Life, sounds great, thank you for your advice," 11 Wei's hoarse and low voice echoed in the cold and dead pub. "Thank you, Thank you. Thank you, mister. I will definitely bring you this way. The freckles nose squeezed a smile. Don't thank. Speak up, I want to send you on the road. Ziwei showed a bright smile and gently pulled the trigger. Boom, the flame spewed out again, completely engulfing the freckled nose and the thin figure, and soon the person in front became a group of ashes. Chaotic City, the city of sin, is really worthy of the name, Ziwei said with emotion. This freckle nose, but has the famous name of Smiley Face. A dark green magical light shines from the hands of Ziwei, and the pale soul of the freckles nose appears on the palm of Ziwei. He is desperately pleading, as if he already knows the fate he is destined to destroy. The real magic eyes of Ziwei started, instantly suppressing the soul of the freckles nose, and extracting his memory like a silver silk. Slowly feeling the information in the silver silk, 11 Wei's face is getting more and more gloomy. This smiley face and fangs has already achieved the achievement of thousands of people, and this way. The silvery silver moon spurts out of the palm of your hand and completely annihilates this evil sinner's soul. The whole Pig and White Crow pub is a huge place of death. The breath from the back basement made Ziwei very uncomfortable. He pushed open the tight and heavy door and returned to the cold and gloomy winter rain. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 229. With the current ability of Ziwei, only some memory fragments can be drawn from the soul, but through these incomplete memory fragments, Ziwei also has a general understanding of the chaotic city of Palermo. The fascinating life is located outside the 5 streets. The Golden Coin Avenue is the avenue leading to the city gate, and the boulevard is the most beautiful street in Palermo. At the intersection of the 2 avenues, the Intoxicating Life Hotel is undoubtedly the most luxurious and high-end gold cave in the whole city of Palermo. The boss here is a mysterious lady with a mask forever, codenamed Black Iris. Ms. Black Shanwei is naturally one of the defenders of the entire Palermo underground order. If you want to control the city, you must have an in-depth understanding of it. Ziwei has not yet had the power to suppress the whole of Palermo and even Sicily. Strolling through the narrow alleys, the buildings on both sides stretched in the opposite direction, as if the 2 old friends who had not seen for many years were generally warmly embraced, and the illegally built wooden sheds were obviously their arms. The freezing rain in the sky was stopped, the light was a little dark, but the alley was unexpectedly vibrant. The dirty children are running around on the road in thin clothes. They have long noses under their noses. Every family has a door open, and an old man sits at the door. Women, small trays on stools, selling some handicrafts or small jewelry. Here is the slums of the Palermo civilians. They lived here for generations. Most of the men did not work the docks. They joined the thieves' guilds, the energetic associations, and simply went out to do pirates. Young and beautiful women with good builds mostly choose to work in the peach industry to subsidize their homes. No one will discriminate against them, because there is no morality in the chaotic city of Palermo. The only order is power. The only pursuit is wealth. As 11 Wei walked all the way, the sparkling foreigner's atmosphere made him highly regarded. The road is getting narrower and narrower. The side of Ziwei's side is constantly crowding out the seller with the basket or the tray, and a group of older children are also crowded around his legs. Zero has now entered the space of the astral. She does not want to be touched by this group of dirty and stinky children. Ziwei can only push away the crowds around him and struggle to the end of the alley. Just then, a young brunette girl came face to face. Her body was thin, as if a gust of wind could blow down. Her face is exquisite and quiet, like a pure white lotus. She wore a patched white pleated skirt, and black little shoes knocked out a crisp echo on the muddy road. Although she was thin and weak, her footsteps were very light, as if she was wearing a butterfly, and passed through the crowd crowded around Ziwei. When she passed by Ziwei, there was a scent of fragrance. If the average person encounters this situation, it will obviously be regarded as a beautiful encounter. However, Ziwei found the anomaly for the first time. The wallet in his inner pocket of the fur coat is full of gold and silver coins and the wallet is missing. Carefully groping with his hands, I found a thin and deep cut in the leather pocket. Obviously, just in the moment when the beautiful girl in the black and white dress passed by, his wallet was taken away with a very skillful and clever way. However, these are not the most surprising places for Ziwei. What he is interested in is that although he is playing a role-playing game, Ziwei still has a magical detection field around his body. Although the magic contained in it is not strong, it is a joke to want to escape the feeling of Ziwei from stealing from him. However, now this magic detection field has been completely destroyed, and it is silent. It's really interesting. Ziwei quickly turned around and saw that the shadow of the beautiful young girl had already disappeared into the corner. Ziwei quickly pushed away the children around him and chased them out. Seeing that it has been exposed, the black-haired girl is not too slow, and the pace at the foot is accelerated again, at a speed far beyond the normal running of the normal person. The 5 or 6 dirty children around Ziwei simply hugged Ziwei's thighs, and a little fat princess was about to wipe his sticky nose on Ziwei's jeans. Even the old lady who had been twitching and was unable to walk the road, directly put a bamboo pole in front of the tree on the ground, trying to block the chase of Ziwei. It's just out of the slaughterhouse and into the thief's nest. The chaotic city of Palermo is really worthy of the name. Ziwei's side suddenly ignited a layer of invisible force field, and all the children holding his thighs flew away. Naturally, he escaped the crisis of being smeared by the chubby snot. He jumped high and jumped directly. The bamboo poles that block the road go straight to the beautiful girl of the black hair. After Ziwei's eternal blessing of the moon goddess Elena, the strength and agility have reached the speed that a high-ranking warrior should have, even in the narrow alleys. Close the distance between the beautiful girl and the brunette. The black-haired girl looks at Ziwei's chasing after her, and she runs straight with her hands on her skirt. The original white pleated skirt also has a pair of white trousers. In general, the thieves' gang will be the first time to change the stolen goods after the crime, but Ziwei's wallet has a secret imprint. This wallet has been on the black girl. So Ziwei chased after him, the black-haired girl took the road and fled, and the two played a desperate pursuit in the streets of Palermo. In fact, if Ziwei really wants to seize this thief right away, there are naturally 10,000 ways, but he has now perfectly substituted into the middle-aged cowboy man's identity, and will never use the ability beyond the surface strength. The black-haired girl, with her familiarity with the terrain, circumvented the secrets of countless secrets several times and still could not get rid of Ziwei, finally realized the problem. She quickly took out Ziwei's wallet, poured all the gold and silver coins into her skirt, then threw the wallet in place and continued to flee quickly. A minute later, Ziwei found his empty wallet. He sighed, "Zero, help me turn on the holographic scanning system." "Ziwei, you will see the black hair beautiful girl soon." The Zero laughter obviously carries a bad taste. Under the powerful tracking capabilities of holographic scanning systems, thieves are clearly hidden. After confirming that she had got rid of the owner, the girl's footsteps finally slowed down. Her upper body leaned forward and her hands were supported on her knees, and the whole person panted. "It's really a troublesome uncle. But I finally got rid of it. Let me take a look at this harvest. 1, 2, 3. There are actually 38 hintal and 25 silver tars. It's really big harvest. This time it's really big." No wonder the middle-aged uncle is chasing after him. The brunette girl completely detached her skirt in this secluded corner, grabbing a wig from her head. Restored the original appearance. Hey! It's actually a disguised teenager. Seeing the scene through the holographic system, Ziwei was completely speechless. Due to the experience of life and role-playing, Ziwei did not open up any super-standard capabilities, and Zero nature can be qualified for early warning roles. However, with the extraordinary eyesight of Ziwei, I did not see that this brunette girl was actually a beautiful young boy. In other words, the juvenile's play has reached perfection from the details of the skin, throat, walking, and posture. The handsome young man who changed back to men's clothing hid his skirt and wig in a very hidden hole, and then completely blocked it with masonry. This is obviously a logistics point for him. 11 Wei did not appear at this time, but was not slow to follow the young man behind 2 streets, want to see if he would eventually go there. 2/4 of an hour later, looking at the magnificent and luxurious building that the teenager stepped into, 11 Wei's face showed a bright smile. It's a coincidence. Outside the 5-story building, the huge signboard shines with the fascinating purple-red enchanted life. Outside the main building, there is a marble sculpture of a beautiful stone statue. Although it is already winter, the fragrant banyan tree of the boulevard extends here, bringing a calm atmosphere to the whole hotel. This is completely different from the style of the chaotic city of Palermo, just like a paradise. People can't help but want to walk in. Just entering the lobby of this hotel, there are 2 sweet sounds ringing at the left and right sides, welcome. The 2 women dressed in black and white, the girl with a white lace headband on her hair, also pays tribute to the 90th. After the 2 girls regained their bodies, Zai Wei discovered that they are all beautiful people above the standard. What is even more rare is that both beautiful women have unique appearance characteristics. One ear is pointed and long, and the skin is fair and delicate, obviously a half-elf. And the proportion of the elf blood is still very high. Otherwise it is impossible to retain such a distinct sprite feature. The other ear has a triangular shape with a short white fluff on the back, just like a cat's ear. Obviously this is a cat girl among the orcs. Being able to come up with such 2 beautiful ethnic girls to be welcoming, fascinating life is really rich and rich. Hello, sir. Welcome to the fascinating life. Is it a break, or a fun? A tall beauty in a black uniform came forward, her voice with a strong charm. However, her enchanting voice is obviously made up of the day after tomorrow, and the natural charm of Christine does not know how many times worse. Oh! How do you find a way to have fun? Zai Wei lit a cigar, squirting a smog, and picking his brow. The tall beauty smiles sweetly, Mister, I understand, please come here. So Zai Wei followed a tall and beautiful woman along the decorated and expensive corridor to an empty reception room. Mister, please take a seat, take a break. Zai Wei was safely seated in a soft and comfortable soft chair, and soon the waiter came forward to serve the black tea for Zai Wei. Not long after, the tall beauty reappeared in the reception room where Zai Wei was located. This time, she also had a row of beautiful women behind her. They wear neat uniforms, lined up from high to low, with white and black skin, tall and short, and almost all of them from slim to full. It can be said that almost everyone can choose the type that they are most satisfied with. Sir, all of our services are on the 2nd floor. You can choose one of them as your exclusive maid, then all the entertainment activities in our hotel will be explained and recommended by you. The tall beauty said with a smile. 11 Wei's gaze swept across each of their faces, and their looks were above the standard, and there was no shortage of fine works. Although Zai Wei's current middle-aged man is a bit mad, but with a kind of unconstrained chic, the whole person looks very manly charm, so this row of beautiful people almost always look forward to Zai Wei with a look of anticipation. Check her. However, Zai Wei finally shook his head. The high-profile beauty does not change color, and the hand wave, this row of beautiful people can only retreat. Soon came a column again. This time is also beautiful, but the age is polarized. The smallest is only a decade old, but it is still a flower. The big one is 30 or 40 years old, with a mature beauty. Zai Wei is helpless. Do you think that I am a lowly control or a mature woman? He shook his head again. The tall beauty took a deep breath and waved again. This time, Zai Wei waited for a long time. There were only 3 people in front of him. One is a half-elf girl, one is a cat woman. These 2 are not the welcome of the hotel entrance, and one is a very rare dwarf girl. The gnomes were first of all humans. They were much smarter than their own counterparts, so the first city of humanity, Nomokan, was first established. However, in a huge natural disaster thousands of years ago, the earth cracked and the whole city of Nomokan sank into the ground. Due to a strange radiant energy, the heights of the Nomokan residents were all reduced, and the adult men and women were only 1 meter to 1 meter high, and eventually formed a gnome. Gnomes live almost exclusively in their great capital, Nomokan, and rarely appear on the surface of the mainland. However, Ziwei looked at it for a long time and finally shook his head. The tall beauty is helpless, holding the small notebook in his hand on the towering chest. Guests, fascinated with a lot of entertainment projects, far more than your imagination, a waiter is a must. Can you tell me the type of satisfaction? Ziwei held his chin with his right hand and bowed his head to meditate. After a while, he finally looked up and his eyes were a little confused. You are not here, cute boy. The tall beauty screamed out. She was busy for a 90-degree sigh. Sorry for the guests, I am negligent. We also have a lot of cute boys here. We will be able to meet your needs, I will call them immediately. When Ziwei chased the brunette girl and fled, he noticed the white trousers under the skirt of the other party. The texture was unexpectedly very good, and the handsome pattern was also sewn. In the uniforms of this batch of beautiful women, Ziwei really found this pattern. So a group of cute boys walked into the reception room behind the tall beauty, and Ziwei found the brunette girl who stole his wallet in the crowd for the first time. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 230. The brunette girl also found out that the guest in front of him was the owner. His head was slightly lowered, his hair was falling, and he hoped that the other party would not notice himself. This is, Ziwei reached out and decisively pointed to the black-haired girl. Jude. Look up, the tall beauty sighed. The black-haired boy named Jude raised his chest and raised his face. He is only about 1 meter tall and 7 meters tall. His eyebrows are very delicate. He has blue-green amber eyes that are common in the Golden Sea area. His skin is very white and thin, and his lips are red and white. He is a very handsome young man. Can he be my guide? Ziwei asked. Of course. Jude is a very good boy. You can definitely enjoy the best service, the tall beauty nodded quickly. Jude suddenly felt as if he was going to fall into the clutch. He quickly said, I mean, Eva's sister, is this guest enough money? We are fascinated by the life but dedicated to the rich. Uncle, your wallet has been stolen, and you will go out. The tall beauty named Eva took a look at Jude and eventually turned his attention to Ziwei. As a senior account manager of the Intoxicated Life Hotel, she naturally has a unique way of watching people. The middle-aged man has excellent overall workmanship and unique temperament, which is not a poor man who can't afford the money. Ziwei smiled at juvenile Jude and took a deerskin pocket from the inside of the coat. The silk thread of the pocket was opened, and a large number of gemstones shining on the table were dropped on the table. These are the associated mines of the arcane crystal veins, which were mined in the recent period of Zero. In the mainland of Orient, the gemstones have a variety of mysterious uses, and they are not only decorative, so they are more valuable than gold coins. Ziwei heard the sound of a few people swallowing. Even though these waiters have been working in fascination for a long time, it is very rare to have a big hacker who can take out thousands of gold coins in one breath. The same cute boy, many waiters looked at Jude with an envious look. This kid is the most handsome, usually taken care of by Eva, and today is named by such a wealthy guest. To know that customers are intoxicated, they can be 2%. Into the fascinated life of the guests, especially the first-time guests, almost no exception will be all the money with their own money to go. This means that Jude will get nearly 100 gold coins. This is a huge sum. However, Jude's keen sixth sense has realized the problem, and he is definitely recognized by this middle-aged uncle. "Sir, hello, what do you call it?" Eva saw this pile of high-quality, polished gemstones, and was completely caught inside for a moment, only after a moment. A woman is like a dragon. When she sees something sparkling, she can't move and can't open her eyes. "Call me McRae," Zyway broke the pseudonym, the name of a cowboy in this famous game. "Jude, don't hurry to serve Mr. McRae." Eva quickly looked at the seemingly sluggish Jude, and the very clever Jude on weekdays stayed so much today. "Hello, sir. I am the waiter, Jude. You will guide me for your service during your intoxication." Jude finally adjusted his mood, and he politely stepped forward and said. Zyway reloaded the gemstone bag back into the pocket on the inside of the coat and got up and followed Jude. Leading the way ahead, Jude is very uncomfortable. He feels like behind a beast that can eat people at any time. "I have already dropped my wallet." How did he catch up? Also recognized the men's self. What should I do next? As a waiter, Jude knows that in the face of the big hawker, the hotel is absolutely very unfair. "It seems that I still have to save myself." "How did you know about this?" Jude asked calmly. "Today is the first day I came to the chaotic city of Palermo. I wanted to see the unique scenery here. It was just bad luck today. Met a thief, actually a rare beauty. She stole my wallet. It was really suffocating. I was hanging out on the street, but suddenly saw a back like a beautiful thief walked into the building, so I came in." 11 Wei said in a rough and bold voice. "Is this okay?" "I am really unlucky." Jude was speechless. "What do guests like to play in the usual time?" "We have a variety of exciting entertainment projects here." Jude began a polite introduction. "I heard that you can enjoy the general treatment of the king here?" "Is this true or false?" Zyway interrupted the words of Jude. "King's general treatment? There is indeed this service. But this is not just a matter of money. It also requires a big adventure challenge. Only those who have achieved the ultimate victory in the big adventure can complete challenge and enjoy the king's general treatment." "Great adventure? My favorite is the challenge." "Then take me there." Zyway waved his hand and said confidently. Jude, who was walking in front, rolled his eyes. "Uncle, you are really confused. However, your bag of gems is not enough to challenge the flowers. You will soon be free." So Jude led Zyway along the luxurious staircase with red carpet, and went to the 3 layers of fascination. The second floor of the fascinating life is aimed at most of the guests, who can enjoy the entertainment there, but the third floor is only open to the really rich and noble guests, and the big adventure challenge starts from this level, bending over and picking up the curtain hanging at the third floor. Sivian walked in the first step, and it turned out to be a luxury intoxication. It's already raining outside, but it's warm as spring, and both the guest and the maid are wearing thin clothes. The passionate red-haired girl is performing a hot dance on a delicate and luxurious stage. The skirt is light and the clothes are fluttering. The large pieces of honey-colored skin are exposed to the air, and the hormonal atmosphere is with the wind. Floating, it is really a pleasant double of the visual and spiritual enjoyment. This red girl is much more beautiful than the maids who appear on the first floor of the hotel, and the figure is almost perfect. She is like a real star, showing her charm in her arrogance, and many guests are watching her performances with full concentration and dazzling. However, Zyway's eyes crossed at least the red girl and did not stay on her. If Charlotte, Natalia, and Christine are both 99-point beauty, then the red girl is at best 95. The beauty is beautiful, but it does not bring soul level. Shocked. Jude has been observing the expression of Zyway. When he saw this scene, he suddenly had a cold heart and a tight chrysanthemum. Even the performance of Miss Monica, the treasure of the town shop that is fascinated by life, can't cause him to pay attention. Jude quickly walked quickly and opened a distance with Zivala. Walking through the little stage of the Red Lady, I passed through many entertainment venues. Countless dressed in luxury, like the aristocratic men and women enjoying the life here. Fascinating life is really the most fascinating place in the chaotic city. Finally arrived at the deepest level of the third floor of the hotel, there is a small house, suddenly a lot of cold, seemingly filled with the charming drunkenness and aroma of the air have dissipated. An old man in red uniform with glasses squats in the hut, in front of him is a large red wooden table with a lot of strange and colorful cards. Mr. Morris, there is a guest today who wants to challenge the big adventure. Jude went forward with respect. Great adventure, the old man looked up from the pile of cards after hearing the words, and the gaze of his eyes came out from behind the glasses. Ziwei immediately felt the fluctuation of magic. The old man in front of him is a magician. And the strength is not low. However, Ziwei is very confident in his current camouflage. With the help of 0 nano machines, he temporarily adjusted his muscles and bones, which means that the appearance of this middle-aged man is completely true. On the soul level, Ziwei is still higher than the old mage in front of him. Therefore, without using magic, the opposite is impossible to understand the true identity of Ziwei. If you want to carry out a big adventure challenge, the first step is to take out at least 10,000 gold as the price to start the big adventure challenge. This guest can think clearly, Morris said slowly. 1,000 gold? It is said that I am still unclear what this big adventure challenge is. Ziwei turned his attention to Jude. The big adventure challenge comes from a magical card. This card is called Orient Hero Legend. Just open the challenge and you will automatically enter a famous era in the history of the continent, and Mr. Morris will enter the same as a part of the keeper. As long as you can beat Mr. Morris to win the final victory, you will be able to win the big adventure challenge. Jude explained. To be honest, he entered the fascinating life for 3 years, and this is the first time he has seen someone come to the big adventure challenge. Mr. McRae, I want to remind you that the scene of the Orient Hero Legend card simulation is very real and expressive. If you die in the scene, you will really die. You should consider it again. Jude reminded. What is this? The magical version of the infinite horror? 11 Wei is really interested in increasing. He really wants to experience how a real card can simulate a real scene. So interesting? What are you waiting for? Let's get started, Ziwei said with a smile. Mr. McRae, in the scene of the heroic legend of Orient, your own strength cannot be brought in. The battle depends on the magic contained in the card. So to win the big adventure challenge, you must first set your own deck. Otherwise it will not succeed, Jude explained patiently. So how can I have my own card? Ziwei asked curiously. There are 2 ways to either buy money from our hotel or exchange it with hotel guests. This card game is very popular in our hotel. Many guests will have one or several cards in their hands to commemorate, Jude said. So let me see what cards are in the hotel. Ziwei excitedly smashed his hand and couldn't wait to ask. The Maurice mage in front of Ziwei opened a brown stone box with a magic seal, and dozens of radiant magic cards flew out and stayed in the air in front of Ziwei. Militia, Attack 1, Life 1, Summon the required crystal 0. Infantry, Attack 1, Life 2, Summon the required crystal 1. Cavalier Apprentice, Attack 2, Life 3, Summon the required crystal 2. High-level Knight, Attack 5, Life 5, make all units of your own life add 1, summon the required crystal 5. High-level Priest, Attack 3, Life 6, when you play, you can restore 3 life points for a specified target, summon the required crystals 5. High-level Element Magician, Attack 6, Life 3, put a fireball into your hand when you play, summon the required crystal 5. Fireball, deals 5 damage to a specified target and casts the. Most of the cards that appear in front of Ziwei are basic cards, and the magic contained in them is relatively thin and not very powerful. The prices of these cards range from 10 gold coins to 1000 gold coins. The only 3 high-end cards are obviously very powerful cards, but the cheapest high-end knight cards are also 4000 gold, and the most powerful high-end element magician cards need a full 8000 gold. No wonder Morris said that if you want to start a big adventure, you need at least $1 million of wealth. Here are all the magic cards that can be sold. You can bring up to 30 cards into the challenge. After completing the group card, the big adventure challenge can begin. Morris Master is facing the west. Wei said. So these 3 high-end cards are already the strongest cards, asked Sci Wei. It's the highest level of cards available, and you can only buy one at a time. It seems that the money I brought is not enough. Jude, I think there should be a casino here, Sci Wei asked. Of course, sir. I will take you there, Jude said, and they left the card house of Maurice Master. Sci Wei threw the jewel bag to Jude, and Jude went to the front desk to replace these gems with chips worth 6000 gold. This is the capital of Sci Wei. Even if only one set of the basic cards sold by Morris and 3 high-end cards are formed, it will require nearly 20,000 gold. Therefore, Sci Wei can only make another sum of money to start the big adventure challenge, not to mention that he wants to win the magic card from the surrounding guests. If you find that the content of the chapter is wrong, please report it and we will fix it as soon as possible. More exciting content, please pay attention. Novel domain, new domain name. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 231. On the small tray, there were neatly 60 bright silver chips, and Jude returned to Sci Wei again. Silver, this is my lucky color. It seems that I have to make a fortune today. Sci Wei picked up a chip and gently dropped it into the pocket of Jude's chest. This is a tip for you. Jude, Sci Wei blinked. This bright silver chip, worth 100 gold coins. Even if Jude gets back to the front desk for redemption, he can exchange for 80 gold coins. 80 gold coins, enough for the residents of the entire old street in Bury to have a good drink for a year. Jude said that. I was very panicked. Along the flashy corridor, Sci Wei came to a closed hall. As soon as 2 wooden doors with a thin half-naked crucifixion were carved, the warm and noisy atmosphere in the casino hall rushed. Most of the guests on the 3rd floor of the hotel have come here. There are several different types of tables in the spacious hall. Each table is either standing or sitting on the edge of a table with a lot of luxurious guests. Of course, the maids and waiters in uniforms are indispensable. Mr. McRae, what do you want to play? Asked Jude. Which way is the easiest? Guess the size. Jude guided Sci Wei to a table. The scorpion is 12-sided, with numbers from 1 to 12 on each side, a total of 3 dice. 2-17 is small, 19-35 is big, the odds are 1 to 1. So 1, 18, and 36. Swing out 3-1, 3-6, and 3-12, the dealer kills. So not 18 of the 3-6. Mister, you can press and the odds are 1 for 5. In the case of a banker's killing, it is clear that according to the probability calculation, this table player is not profitable. This way of guessing the size is very cruel, and the fun is not so high, so only 3 guests are playing on the table. A brown-haired young man, a middle-aged lady, a bald-bellied middle-aged businessman. Sci Wei walked to the side and watched quietly. The dealer is a girl dressed in a very attractive pink costume. Her every move is to show off her beautiful body curves. The bald-bellied middle-aged businessman looked almost as far as the pink girl's body, and the size was casually pressed, and soon she exported dozens of blue chips. A blue chip is equal to a gold coin, but there are more than a dozen bright silver chips on the tray of the waitress beside the bald businessman. Obviously the bald businessman is also a very rich person. Although the brown-haired youth and the middle-aged lady have always focused on the gambling, they have lost and won, but the chips in the tray of the maids around them are still decreasing at a speed visible to the naked eye. Another round of announcement, 4, 5, 11, 20 points, only the brown-haired youth won, but he is obviously very remorse. This round of betting is very small. This gentleman, do you want to join in? Seeing that only 3 of the guests seemed to be lacking in interest, the pink girl quickly flirted with respect to Ziwei, and she did not want to scare away the guests. Is it okay? Ziwei came forward and threw a bright silver chip into the small area. This is 100 gold coins. The dealer's eyes lit up, but I didn't expect this seemingly inconspicuous middle-aged man to be so rich. To know the size of each game, regardless of the speed of winning or losing, very few people will directly gamble with bright silver chips. Seeing the entry of Ziwei, the other 3 guests apparently had another interest, and they had pressed their chips and pressed them together. However, the stakes are not big, and they add up to 10 gold coins. The dealer bit his teeth, or gently shake his wrist, the black swaying like a wave, 3 12-faced scorpions rolling up and down in the shackles, everyone's eyes are staring at the dealer's jade hands. Finally, he was on the table and the dealer was relieved. Ziwei opened the real magic eye, easily penetrated the black pimple, and saw the specific points of the scorpion: 5, 7, 12, 24 points. Equal to this shake, the casino net earns 90 gold. Pink girl can only apologize to Ziwei. Generally, newcomers will give a sweet spot when they enter the market, but Ziwei has invested a bright silver chip at the beginning. Once Ziwei wins, the income of today will be lost. Guess the size here, many people just ran once they won, so the dealers would never dare to let West win. The real magic eyes of Ziwei swept the dealer's body, easily penetrated her pink thin clothing and the same pink skin, deep into her muscles and bones. This pink girl is obviously a targeted agile professional with a targeted training and training. Her arms and wrists are gently swayed, and the value of each scorpion can be precisely controlled. What time is it? Such a person sitting in Zhuang, obviously cannot lose money. The first one was announced, 24 points, and Ziwei lost 100 gold. The other 3 were a little better and they were in a good mood. They looked at Ziwei with a look of expectation. If Ziwei had a small stack next, they would follow. If it was still a big stack, then it would press the other side. This is also to eat and drink with the dealer. Ziwei smiled and turned to ask Jude, how many chips can I order at most? Single 10,000 gold coins are capped. Jude pointed to a string of numbers engraved on the table. Very good. Ziwei grabbed all the bright silver chips on the Jude tray and threw them into the table. The 58 bright silver chips are neatly stacked on a small area of the middle on the table, almost like a silver tower towering straight into the sky. This beautiful hand of Ziwei obviously caused the attention of some people in the place. 5,800 gold coins pressure middle this very small chance. Once successful, he will win 29,000 gold coins. 29,000 gold coins, enough to train a night team. Enough to train a talented teenager all the way to high-level professionals. This is already a real gamble. Such a person is not a fool or an absolute master. The pink girl's gaze stared at Ziwei, and the sweat fell from her forehead. Logically speaking, this is simply giving her money. Even if she is probable, she will win a lot of money, let alone the scorpion shakes herself. But the middle-aged man's hand is so smooth, his eyes are so calm, as if he just lost a negligible change to the table. Open? Why not open? Ziwei once again ignited a cigar, took a deep breath and spit out a perfect smoke ring. The change that happened in the corner of the casino hall quickly caught the attention of many people in the casino, which is a big deal. What's more, it happened in the guest size area that is usually very rare. Many guests couldn't help but surround them and surrounded the entire table. If you find that the content of the chapter is wrong, please report it and we will fix it as soon as possible. More exciting content, please pay attention. Novel domain, new domain name. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 232. Mobile phone reading point here. backslash, backslash backslash, backslash backslash. What happened, Miss Amy? A hair combed neatly, with a red bow tie on the chest, and the gentleman in a luxurious white uniform came over, he asked with concern. Please search, product at yen, to see the most. The fastest updated novel. Sir Chimero, the gentleman just took 5,800 gold coins, gambling. Someone saved the scene, and the pink girl named Amy quickly explained. The crowd was stunned. Isn't this a money for the casino? Oh? Is there such a gambling guest? Is it really a face? Miss Amy, if you don't want to, can I have a package? Sir Cameron said with a smile. The package is a temporary bet for the dealer to enter the game, and the odds will no longer be fixed. No matter who wins, you must draw 10% to the casino. The eyes of countless people look directly at Amy, and her pressure is obviously great. If you insist on sitting in the casino, then the 5,800 gold coins are almost your own, but once you lose, you have to pay 29,000 gold coins. She can't afford it. She has a small amount of gambling profit every day, but in the event of a major compensation accident, she must make a large sum of money to pay for her mistakes. No one has stood up to help her out. Amy knows that this is the test of Ms. Black Shanwei. I'm sorry, Sir Kamoru, you still don't need your desk. Are there any guests who want to bet? Amy finally decided to bite her teeth, and her nephew was in her own hands. She was confident enough about her skills. Once confidence is shaken, there is no way to do it in this line. This is a decent high-end job. I don't know how many people are in their own position. On the contrary, as long as you win this game, you can get up to 100 gold coins. This gamble has aroused the interest of many people. They have put their chips on the table, and soon the big and small areas are filled with chips, adding up to thousands of coins. But the area that belongs to it has no one to add chips. Nobody has bet? Then I have to open. Amy looked awkward, she must shake this time. Wait, Jude, who had been silent for a moment, suddenly spoke, placing a bright silver chip in the area that belongs to. Is this? Amy asked inexplicably. This is my tip for rewarding Jude. It seems that this is his bet, Ziwei said with a smile. For Jude, he is more and more appreciated. Few people are able to seize this fleeting opportunity. Because the world's ignorant people make up the majority. The tip of 100 gold coins, hee. The crowd of people gathered a mouthful of mouthfuls and a meaningful look. Most of the guests chose the opposite waiter recommended by the account manager, so the pair of Ziwei and Jude is very eye-catching. This handsome boy is called Jude. It's really handsome to explode. I must designate him as my waiter next time, a noble lady shouted with anger. You didn't see Mrs. Dresses look like a wolf. She couldn't wait to smother the handsome boy. I'm afraid it won't be you, said the companion disdainfully. For a time, the handsome young Jude who wore the waiter's uniform became the focus of the entire casino hall. At this moment, Udexon has no idea, only one thought left, it is necessary to win this gamble. Just win. Your own 100 gold can be turned into 600 gold, plus 2 years of savings. The ultimate goal of 1,000 gold is very close. Amy did not speak again, she began to gather all the spirit and will in this shake. The hand of the dragonfly is like a flying black bird. It is drawn through a dazzling trajectory in the air. Under the eyes of countless people, it is finally buckled at the table. Amy's heart is set, this shakes her perfect play, shakes out 6, 6, 6, and kills the audience. Not only did he eat Mr. McRae's 2,900 gold, but he also ate more than 1,000 gold from Fit. This kind of gamble. Never lose it. A confident smile appeared on Amy's face, and her radiance at this moment was so beautiful. You are optimistic. I am going to open. Amy confidently opened the black cockroach, her head did not look down. Some people in the whole place were shocked at almost the same time, and their eyes, which they could hardly believe, made an exhalation in unison. Ha ha ha, 3-6. Nothing to this lady. This is a superb skill that can be mastered by hard work and hard work. Miss Amy is extremely happy inside, and her expression is calm. However, she found that many people cast a sorrowful look. There are still a few servants' eyes that have been so devastating. She quickly bowed her head and found that the points of the 3 dice were 5, 6, and 7, respectively, for a total of 18 points. Ziwei won. At this moment, Amy is simply desperate. The secret detection array has not been touched, in the unusually luxurious large office decorated in 5 layers of fascination. A noblewoman in a black dress is sitting at the back of a huge desk. The long white hair hangs on the towering chest. The whole person looks graceful and luxurious. This lady is the owner of the entire Fascinating Life Hotel, MS Black Shanwei. In front of her, there is a projection of the same water curtain, which will appear clearly on the 3rd floor of the hotel. No. This set of secret detection arrays is specially arranged by me. Even if the fluctuation of a zero-loop spell can be sensed, it can be ruled out that he is using some kind of magic. It is the card house that answers her. Morris Master, he must have a unique means. I entered the city from the city gate early today. The smiley face and the butcher of the pig and the White Crow pub turned into ashes. The city of Palermo is not calm now. Black-tailed Tail suddenly stood up and said, "It seems that I am going to meet this uninvited mystery guest." At the same time, the fine sweat is already covered with Miss Amy's delicate nose. She was weak, her face was gone, she knew she had messed up everything. Regardless of the way the mysterious guest used it, he changed his dice's points without touching the magical alarm and won the gamble. Originally, as long as I agreed to the proposal of Sir Cameron, the casino side is sure to make a profit. In this way, one of his own adventures has brought more than 30,000 gold losses to the casino. This money, even if I only pay half of my compensation, it is absolutely impossible to get it. Finished. Everything is over. The eyes of Jude flashed a pleasant glow, and the mysterious Mr. McRae created a trace. He won. I also won. The goal of 1,000 gold is only the last dozens of gold. The life of suffering has finally come to an end, and the dawn is coming. At this moment, suddenly there was a crisp and unique rhythm of percussion. When everyone heard this crisp voice, they woke up from the gamble of the past, and they looked at the entrance of the hall with their expectation. To be continued. Book from product and book hashtag. Read this book source mobile phone please visit. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 233. The natural thing that can be seen by everyone is the big boss who is fascinated by life, MS Black Shanwei. Even a 3-tiered guest rarely sees her. To know that MS Black Shanwei is more than just an innkeeper, she is one of the highest rankings in the entire chaotic city of Palermo. The 2 doors were gently pushed away by 2 handsome waiters, and a woman slowly walked in. Her height is more than 1 meter and 8, and the 2 long legs are wrapped in some tight black silk dresses. The waist is soft as a snake, and the chest is towering into the clouds. It is really an explosion that makes men lose their hearts and women smash. Figure. Unfortunately, the face is slightly ordinary, not worthy of her perfect body. The first time I saw the black tail, Ziwei opened the real magic eye. The corner of Ziwei's mouth under the cowboy hat rose, showing a smug smile. Under the real magic eye of feedback from the inside of the real world, all the disguise of MS Black Shanwei has no meaning. Her real skin is dark brown, like chocolate. In addition to the long white hair and eyebrows, there is no body hair. Her body seems to be delicate and weak, but the real situation is the opposite. Her body is extremely agile, and she can explode in an instant, at least a high-level professional who has entered the paradigm. What is even more rare is that the light of her soul is faint and bright, and from the level of the soul, it has entered the ranks of high-ranking casters. This is the first so-called martial arts double repairer after Ziwei came to this world. And all the physical features of MS Black Iris are in line with a non-human intelligent life, that is the Dark Elf. The Dark Elves used to be the believers of MS Yin Yu. However, thousands of years ago, there was a huge change in the Elf Empire. Eventually, an elf race broke into the Dark Area and became a Dark Elves. The immigrants of Ziwei's incarnation, Macrae, came to Palermo to really understand the city and its rulers, and thus decided on the follow-up course of action. MS Black Shanwei is one of her goals. Miss Amy hurried forward, mourning and pleading. Amy today has brought huge losses to the hotel because of greed. It is really impossible to recover after 10,000 deaths. Please punish the lady. MS Black Shanwei is still very kind to her subordinates in the past. Although she has caused more than 30,000 gold coins this time, she may give her a chance to learn from her past feelings. Therefore, Amy's posture is very low. A merit is rewarded, there is a penalty. Amy, today you really brought nearly 30,000 gold losses to the hotel because of blind confidence. See, you have been fascinated with life for 5 years, never made a mistake. I will give you a 50% discount. As long as the hotel is worth 14,500 gold, today's business is over, said the woman of Black Shanwei with a blank expression. How could it be such a heavy punishment? Amy has no choice but to know that the decision made by MS Black Shanwei cannot be changed, let alone this is in the public. Amy's full body is only 800 gold, the rest cannot make up, but also please the woman. Amy fell to the ground, his head low on the carpet. In this case, it is only selling you a road. You, Miss Amy, is the maid who was fascinated by my childhood. I am 19 years old, beautiful, and if you like Miss Amy, can bid today, MS Black Shanwei said with a smile to the guests present. However, all the maids and waiters were cold after seeing the smile of MS Black Shanwei. They gave birth to a rabid dead sorrow. Working in the Fascinating Life Hotel, it can be said that the whole city of Palermo has a good job, eating and drinking, and wearing gorgeous costumes, and the paper fans in the upper class are intoxicated. It is hard to imagine for ordinary people. Remuneration. Amy has lost 800 gold in 5 years of intoxicating life, and she can almost train a real knight. A dealer in a casino, I can afford to save so much money. This is outside the chaotic city of Palermo, and it is absolutely impossible to be outside the fascinating life. However, the words of MS Black Shanwei are her will, no one can change. Hearing this sentence, the guests in the casino are smiling. Miss Amy is young and beautiful, lively, and very popular with male guests. This is also the reason why guessing the size is almost steady and not earning, and there are many guests who often come to cheer. However, due to the mysterious power of MS Black Shanwei, those who dare to be intoxicated in life are very miserable. So even though many people swear Miss Amy, she is like a flower that wanders around the crowd and has never been picked. But now the opportunity is coming. MS Black Shanwei patted her hand and 2 of the strong men came in. They carried a huge and heavy booth. Go up, with the order of MS Black Shanwei. Miss Amy took off her pink shoes helplessly and jumped onto the booth. MS Black Shanwei's hand stretched out and walked over Miss Amy's body. Miss Amy, under the control of MS Black Shanwei, had to make all kinds of difficult and very shameful moves. For example, the body is completely formed into a ball, such as passing the head between the 2 legs. These actions all reflect her superb flexibility, which is truly weak and boneless. The close-fitting pink clothes can't cover her amazing beauty, but the half-covering and the half-brightness even provoke the guests. If Miss Amy's beauty can only be scored 85 points, then she can show her outstanding flexibility to the extent that she can rise to 90 cents. Many men's eyes are completely out of control, and they die on Miss Amy's body. This is really a stunner. You can do whatever you can imagine and pose whatever you want. I am out of 300 gold, an old man shouted. His words instantly detonated the entire casino hall. I am out of 500 gold. I am out of 1000 gold. The bids came one after another, and soon came to the 4-digit number from 3 digits. Amy was lying on the huge booth, watching the crazy people below, and there was a trace of sadness and helplessness in her eyes. She knows that at this moment, she is no longer a person in the eyes of all, but a living goods. And this is exactly what I want to avoid. A little bit of tears fell from her eyes, but it added a bit of melancholy beauty. I am out of 3000 gold. Sir Cameron finally stood up, and his appreciation of Miss Amy is already well known. Amy's eyes also flashed a glimmer of hope, and if it was chosen, it would be unfortunate for me to be bought by Sir Cameron. In fact, there is a slave market in Palermo, and Miss Amy, who looks like this, can only sell about 100 gold coins. Sir Cameron's 3000 gold has already been 30 times the market price, naturally because Amy's fascination with life, superb flexibility, and a bit of affection. This price is beyond the scope of rationality. In the case of having money to buy dozens of beautiful women with the same looks, who will eat and support themselves. I am out of 5000 gold, however, just as Sir Camor's victory was in the grip, there was suddenly another person bidding. He is the middle-aged bald businessman who has been on Amy's table. He is also the first bid, but it is 2000 more than the price of Sir Camor. You have some face, what do you call it? Asked the singer, Cairo. Come on Visagi, I am from Venice, the bald-bellied businessman replied with a smile. Sir Camoru stared at Bald Visage and couldn't wait to swallow him. He bit his teeth and finally broke a price, 6000 gold. 8000 gold, Visage extended his fingers and added 2000 gold without hesitation. The onlookers said that they were very happy. Today, they not only saw MS Black Shanway, but also witnessed tens of thousands of gold gambles and saw a super auction. If he is 20 years old, he may really be desperate to raise the price, so he must fight back, even if he finally has to sell some family industries. But he is already over 40 years old. He has a family and a child. When he reaches middle age, he has to mature. 8000 gold has far exceeded his psychological expectations, and can only helplessly let go. Congratulations to Mr. Visage, Sir Camoru squeezed a smile and walked away. He never looked at Miss Amy on the stand. Everyone was silent, and the auction came to an end. Amy shed tears. She would never marry this fat middle-aged businessman. This guy may be an incompetent person, and it is likely to be a pervert. But in the chaotic city of Palermo, wealth is the second strength symbol, second only to power. Not everyone in the room can come up with 10,000 gold, but it is not worth it. Her Amy is not worth the price. If you are fascinated by the most popular red dress dancer Miss Monica, then it is worth it. Juvenile Jude is somewhat unbearable. Although he and Amy are not good friends, they are also frequent colleagues. At first he wanted to help Amy to generate income, only to bring this Mr. McRae to guess the size, but did not expect to bring such a big bad luck to Miss Amy. He is very helpless, he just wants to save it at this moment. Jude was attached to the ear of Zyway and said softly, Mr. McRae, this Miss Amy has served as a sales card for magic cards. She knows the final destination of many rare cards. Zyway finally moved. In fact, after the admission of MS Black Shanway, the confrontation between him and her has begun. MS Black Shanway's auction of Amy is a fake, and it's true that I want to observe Zyway. So he never said anything, but waited for it. You come to shoot. There is no upper limit, Zyway told Jude. Jude was overjoyed, and he shouted, Mr. McRae is willing to pay 10,000 yuan to buy Miss Amy. Jude once again became the focus of the audience, but at this moment his mood is so sunny. The Venetian businessman named Visagi looked at Ziwei and suddenly showed a kind smile to Ziwei. Since Mr. McRae is interested, I will not bid any more. Congratulations to Miss Amy, I found a good one. Home. This Venetian businessman is really not easy, Ziwei said with emotion. Finally, the auction has come to an end, and finally Miss Amy has shot a sky-high price of 10,000 gold, but it is still not enough to pay for the gold coins she is fascinated by. The remaining 4,500 gold is also embarrassed by me, Ziwei said with a smile. Miss Amy, you owe me. Amy seems to have fallen more than half of her body on the cliff but has been pulled back. Her whole person's mood is ups and downs, and she can't control her emotions at the moment. Thank you Mr. McRae. From now on you are my master, although Mr. McRae is a bit rough, but has a man charm, can be his person, can be said to be the best choice. No, your master is not me. 11 Wei yelled at the left eye to Jude, whoever photographed you, who is your master? But that is your money, Mr. McRae. Juvenile Jude has been somewhat overwhelmed, he quickly reminded. I count you to send you, Jude. Ziwei swayed his hand, indicating that it was drizzling. Jude seems to have been hit by a great joy. He is already 15 years old. He is not a young boy who knows nothing. A beautiful woman like Miss Amy is looking up but not close to him. The best of the best. At this moment, he was a little embarrassed, and the resistance to Ziwei's faintness seemed to be weaker. Practice has proved that saving money, desperately saving money, and exceeding the huge amount imagined by the other party is the simplest and most rude way to open up the hearts of most people. Of course, Ziwei did not want to have a deep exchange of feelings with Jude. He took a fancy to Jude and wanted to accept him as his fourth apostle. The 3 apostles who were in the tower, the first apostle Merrill returned to the Blue Fort, and had not seen it for half a year. The second apostle Charlotte became his lover, and the third apostle, Freya, become the queen of Naga in the deep sea. It's rare to meet a good talented jade. Ziwei gave birth to a heart. People are short-lived. This sentence is by no means a rumor. Juvenile Jude was born in a slum, longer than the market, although the talent is excellent, but if no one is pointing, the pearl will be dusty, and in the future it will only become a member of the underground order of Palermo. However, falling into his own hands, his unique anti-magic physique can definitely play a huge role, and the future is boundless. Therefore, Ziwei must carefully train him from now on, let him see more worlds and embark on a broader stage, which will lead to greater ambition and pursuit. It is possible to get a good talent for this virtue, perhaps a greater gain than controlling the underground order of Palermo. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 234. Jude is a good guy, Amy is really lucky, Ms. Black Shanwei said with a smile to Ziwei. Mr. McRae is interested in a big adventure challenge. Yes, I heard that once the challenge is successful, can I enjoy the king's enjoyment, Ziwei responded. ______ equals dash. It's true, but there are a total of 98 people who have participated in the Big Adventure Challenge over the years. No one has actually completed this challenge, and 52 of them have died. Mr. Can think carefully. When I set up a set of cards, I will start this challenge, ma'am. Ziwei was not intimidated by the warnings revealed in the other's words. That would be good luck to Mr. in advance. Once you can complete the Big Adventure Challenge, I can guarantee that you will get more than the imagination to return. Finally, please don't call my wife. Ms. Black Shanwei dropped this sentence. Turned out of the casino lobby. Sir, I just talked to Amy. She is very grateful for your generosity. She is willing to help you form the legend of the Orient heroes. Jude came over and he knew that he could not hold Amy. This beauty, so for the time being, can only let Amy continue to work in the fascinating life. Very good, Ziwei turned to look at Amy. She was a little cramped, but she had recovered her calmness. Miss Amy, when you sold the legendary card, the price of each card was also the same, is it high? Yes, the most valuable card I sold was a Wild Whirlwind Tactic card, which consumed 7 points of crystal and deal 5 damage to all creatures on the field. == This card sold 25,000 gold. Miss Amy, since the probability of a big adventure is more than half, no one has ever completed this challenge. Why are these people still willing to pay a big price to buy these cards? Ziwei asked the most critical questions. This is the case. I have heard that a wealthy businessman has been attacked by a mob. At the crucial moment, he throws out a Guardian Knight card that he once purchased, and a Guardian Knight descends from the sky. Help him fight back. The enemies of the enemy. The Guardian Knight only had half a magic time, and the card was destroyed after disappearing, but it saved the rich businessman. Since then, although few people have participated in the Big Adventure Challenge, but as long as the card house with the introduction of new cards, many people are coming to buy them, Amy explained. Isn't this a variant of summoning spells? And cards that can be used by ordinary people to summon powerful creatures are already a rare challenge in magical things. Although it is only a one-time item, it is also worth the money. The person who can make this magic card is definitely a master who has deep research on summoning spells. Thus, the difficulty of Ziwei wanting to form a strong card is greatly increased. Tell me the special card function and guest list that you sold out, and you owe me 4,500 gold coins. I have a notebook that records a lot of things that I think are important. I can provide you with a complete list, Amy said quickly. That's good. Ziwei turned his head and said to Jude, go here today, I want to leave the fascinated life. Sir, please help me a favor. Jude took out 6 bright silver chips, which is the wealth he won. I went to the front desk to redeem, only got 480 gold. But sir, you go, the exchange is 600 gold. Ziwei banged exchanged gold coins, got a notebook from Amy, and then walked out of the fascinating life. Disappeared in the streets of Palermo. Jude completed the task and asked the client manager Eva for a half-day vacation and wanted to return home. Today's life is really full of drama, stealing a wallet in the morning. I did not expect to attract such a legendary guest. Mr. McRae not only helped him win 600 gold coins, but only a little bit of the gap left from the 1,000 gold mark, and also presented to Miss Amy, who had just taken 10,000 gold. Why is Mr. McRae so good to himself? Jude is walking with great enthusiasm. There were suddenly 2 more shadows in front of me. He suddenly looked up, but saw a black man like a tower and a young man who looked like a thin monkey. Huff. Rulin. Why are you here? Jude quickly squeezed out to please the smile. A thin young man named Rulin came forward. I patted the face of Jude with the cold palm, and the sharp knife on the other hand was turning like a gyro. Jude. I heard that you are rich. Jude's heart is cold. How to forget this? A large urban area, including Bury Street, is the site of the entire Palermo Thieves Guild. And Jude is naturally a member of the Palermo Thieves Guild. He was forced to hand over half of his theft to the Thief Guild, in exchange for the thief's recognition and non-disturbance of his theft. This is a total of 38 hintel and 25 silver tall. It's really heartbreaking to pay half of it myself. But there is no way. Jude knows that this seemingly thin and rude Rulin is a third-order thief, middle-level professional. More powerful than the second-tier warrior Huff like the one next to the tower. Jude could only take out half of the 38 hintal with a heartache and put it in a small bag and hand it to Rulin. 19 hintal? Sorry, Jude, not enough. Rulin's eyes are as sharp as a blade. Why not enough? It is already half, Jude asked. 19 hintal are just small fortune. Jude. I heard that you made a fortune in the fascinating life today. Not only did you earn 600 hintal through tipping, but you were also transferred by a hawker. Presented a beauty worth thousands of dollars, Ruland's eyes are full of viper-like greed. Give me the money. Jude did not expect that what happened in the fascinating life actually leaked out so soon. To know that Ruland is not qualified to enter the fascinating life hotel. When I am finished, I am still too proud of my own shape, so that I am famous. But that is my own income, not stealing income, Jude argued. Then he was beaten to the ground with a punch. And your own income? Hey! Kill you a scam. Bunny Scorpion, Lord takes your money is to give you face. Rui Lin rides on his body, punching his fist on his face, shouting loudly. The passers-by who saw the road saw the figure of the Hofnar Tower, and all avoided the alley. The blood of Yin Hong flowed out from the corner of Jude's mouth. The original and handsome face suddenly became a swollen face. He clenched his teeth, his hands slammed, but did not open his mouth. To be continued.